Let us try to understand which are the sections which is dealing with place of supply. Okay. So place of supply has two separate provision in case of goods and in case of services. So if you are computing place of supply for supply of goods, where is the destination of this particular goods? For that also I have two provisions available. Okay, let's look at what are these provisions. If it's goods, if it's general, place of supply of goods other than for importation or exportation of goods will be dealt in section 10. So how to determine place of supply other than import or export? You'll have to just think. Normally, not import and export. Normally, in case of goods, place of supply is determined under section 10. In case of import and export, it is determined under section 11. Okay, very simple provision. This is what we are going to look at today. And we have two provisions similarly for services, but there are a lot of varieties inside it, which we will have to learn. And most of the questions are from the service part. Place of supply in case of services are mostly taken from the chapter or the section in our service tax, which was called as place of provision of services when service tax was there. So place of supply of services when location of supplier and location of recipients are in India. Place of supply of services when both location of supplier and recipient are in India is dealt in section 12. But if any one of them happen to be outside India or both of them are outside India, then it would not be a supply in India. So place of supply of services when location of supplier or it could be location of recipient which are outside India is dealt in section 13. So in case of goods, so you have 10, 11, 12, 13. In case of goods, section 10 generally other than import and export. Import, export 11. Similarly, in case of services, 12 talks about both supplier and recipient in India. Any one of them outside India, then you will have to look at 13. So this is how the provision goes. Now let's first look at what is that 10.1 says. How do you determine place of supply of goods in general cases other than import and export? I'll give you a fundamental that you can remember so that most of the questions will be solved with it. Except for some cases, generally in case of goods, to find out what is the place of supply. Except for some cases, you will have a different thing. Otherwise, if you wanted to find out what is the place of supply for supply of goods, you're purchasing a mobile phone, you're purchasing a furniture, you're purchasing clothes, what will be the place of supply? You have to just look at where the goods are. You just keep following the goods. That will give you what is the place of supply. So you just be with the goods. Okay, let's look at it. Supply involves movement of goods. First case is when supply involves movement of goods. So we'll have to look at first case and the third case. When supply involves movement of goods, place of supply would be location of the goods when the movement terminates or it ends for delivery to the recipient. What it says? From Bangalore. It involves movement means there is some transportation involved. Either I could be transporting it or a transporter is separately appointed. So if there is some movement involved, if I can prove that there is transportation involved, then where that transportation is to, what is the place where this movement terminates or ends to deliver? That will be so I'm following the goods. That will be the place of supply. So from Bangalore, if somebody is supplying to Kochi and there is movement of goods, then Kochi would be the place of supply because that will be the place where the movement ends. What if it does not have movement? Say I went to MyG showroom, like a mobile phone showroom, and I purchased a mobile phone from there. How do I determine what is the place of supply? It will be again I have to follow the goods. At the time I'm getting the delivery, there is no movement, I'm going and collecting it. The time of delivery, where exactly is the goods? So you just have to follow the goods normally. Are you guys understanding this? Now, look at the case B, which is little different there. This is purely for the purpose of ITC. You will understand it because we have already seen bill to ship to cases. So 10.1b says if supply involves movement of goods and delivered to recipient on the instruction of third party. If supply involves movement of goods and it is delivered to recipient on the instruction of third party, either it could be the instruction could be before the movement or during the movement. Okay, and the invoice is called as bill to ship invoice. Now, who wants to take the credit is the question. Okay, I'll give you an example here. So they're saying that place of supply would be the principal place of business of such third person. Say I'm going to give you an example outside. This is an example that I've already given you. So I'll just reiterate it and then try to remind you about it. LP in Bangalore. They wanted to purchase the best quality raw material. They have a tie-up with factory in Coimbatore. The factory in Coimbatore is transferring these goods to Tirupur factory. For what purpose? Tirupur factory for the purpose of stitching. The factory in Coimbatore gives the bills to LP in Bangalore. So the goods are delivered to Tirupur factory. Tirupur factory does the stitching. The finished goods are transferred to Bangalore LP. Question is here, who will be giving the bill to whom? Coimbatore factory will be giving the bill to LP. Now, who is going to take the credit here? Both Tirupur are in Tamil Nadu. This is also in Tamil Nadu. Coimbatore and Tirupur are in Tamil Nadu. Who wants to take the credit here? It is LP who wants to take the credit. Now, what credit they can take? So, Tamil Nadu, if they are issuing invoices to another place in Tamil Nadu, they will make CGST, SGST bill. Which SGST? Tamil Nadu SGST. So the question to you is that, can LP Bangalore take the credit of Tamil Nadu SGST? The answer is no, they cannot. So thereby, what should be the invoice here? For LP to get the credit, what should be the invoice here? It should be an IGST invoice. So thereby, government said in such cases, the place of supply is not the place of delivery. It will be rather the place of this third party who has actually asked the factory to deliver. To whom it is invoiced to? It is LP. So place of supply would be Bangalore here. Are you understanding this? So if the Tirupur factory, which is receiving the goods, is receiving the goods on the direction of a third party, then the third party's location will be the place of supply instead of the place where the goods are terminating its movement. It is Tirupur again in Tamil Nadu. That's not the place. It should be Bangalore because that's where LP can take credit of. Are you guys understanding this? Can I have a yes if it's clear? Okay. So first three provisions are over. Next. D is when supply involves installation and assembly of goods. So I'm supplying goods. Say I'm supplying a machinery to a client who's in Chennai. I'm also in Chennai. My client is also in Chennai. But I'm installing this machinery in a Gujarat factory. So if the supply involves installation or assembly of goods, then I cannot take the normal place of supply. I should rather look at the place where it is assembled or installed. Place of such assembly or installation. So in our example, if the supplier is in Chennai, the recipient is also in Chennai, but the installation happens in Gujarat factory. What is the place of supply? Gujarat will be the place of supply. Perfect. Now the last one. Goods supplied on board a conveyance. What do you mean by conveyance? Aircraft, train, vessel, motor vehicle, etc. Which means that I'm supplying the goods on the train. So you know that when we travel in train, there are a lot of people who are selling goods now. Like especially in our the reserved compartments, the sleeper compartment, people come and they'll sell the product. They'll sell books. They'll sell consumer goods. They'll sell perfumeries. A lot of goods that they're selling. Even in aircraft, merchandise sale happens. Okay, in buses it can happen. So the problem here to understand is that when, say for example, the train started from Karnataka and it is going to Maharashtra, the place of supply is where it is handed over, right? So should the supplier really look at where exactly am I when I'm giving this particular goods each and every time? They said no. It will be the place in which I have taken the goods on board. Say from Bangalore to Mumbai train. I have taken the goods on board from Bangalore. Mumbai train. I have taken the goods on board from Bangalore, but I sold it when it crossed Belgaum. Okay, when it crossed Belgaum and it reached Maharashtra border. That's when I sold it. But place of supply would be what? It will be Bangalore, where I have taken this goods to. This particular conveyance. Similarly, there is a flight that is going from Kochi, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Delhi. 4 legs. Kochi, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Delhi. Now I have taken the goods on board this flight from Kochi. So the place of supply, I might be supplying when flight is above Karnataka. I might be supplying when the flight is above Andhra Pradesh or Telangana. I could be supplying when the flight is above Madhya Pradesh. But you should consider it as where I have taken the goods on board the conveyance. Kochi would be the place of supply for such goods. Again, why am I computing place of supply? If I know location of supplier, if I know place of supply, I will be clearly able to tell whether it is intrastate supply or interstate supply. So the decision is not based on who's the supplier, who's the recipient. Decision is based on who's the supplier, what is the place of supply. Supplier and place of supply are in same state. Supplier and place of supply are in Maharashtra. But recipient is there in Delhi. It is an intrastate supply. Supplier and place of supply makes the decision. Then section 10 is over. Section 11, place of supply of goods when it is imported into or exported from India. Very simple provision. They said if it is imported into India, location of importer would be the place of supply. If it is exported from India to a place outside India, it will be the destination of the goods. Yeah, very simple provision they have put in. So if it is imported into India, then the location of importer. Exported from India to a place outside India, location outside India will be the place of supply. Now we have 2 more provisions in case of services, which is a longer discussion, which I'm going to make only tomorrow morning. So I'll close with this particular topic.